From Studio K at Foxborough Cable Access.
Saffron is essentially the stamen of a rose.
Feeling creative?
Sage has a great flavor.
Is your palate needing a new challenge? Well, let's cook with Mike DiMascio.
Welcome everybody to Let's Cook. I'm your host, Mike DiMascio. We have a great show for you here today. I have a special guest chef helping us out here today. I'd like to welcome in Executive Chef Tom Provost. How you doing, Chef?
Hey, Mike. How you doing?
Chef Tom here is the executive chef with Flick International at the Fidelity Accounts in Rhode Island, Smithfield, Rhode Island.
That's right.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your culinary background, Chef?
Well, right now I'm in the middle of my prepping for my certified executive chef level through the American Culinary Federation. This is the second level below Master Chef, so I'm getting there, and I get to put the initials behind my name. But it gives accreditation to the culinary skills that I have, and we're here to show you some of that today.
That's great. So he's one step away. He'll be one step away from being a master chef. That's pretty impressive, Chef.
Two-year process it takes, or longer.
Very nice. So today we're gonna chef is gonna make a special dish for us today. Why don't you tell us what you're gonna be making?
Well, we're going to be making some Ricotta Gnocchis. This is traditionally made with potato, but we're going to be using, in place of the potato so they won't be so starchy, a whole milk Ricotta cheese. We have some pecorino romano, a fresh pan tomato sauce will accompany it, and it's easy to do, all with about 6 to 7 ingredients. It's really easy.
Very good, yeah. So, you know, as we like to do here, we like to take things that are very easy to make at home, and as complicated as it sounds, we're going to show you how easy it actually can make. So, if you're ready,
I'm ready.
let's cook.
Let's cook.
All right, Chef, why don't you get going? Why don't you
Awesome.
walk us through what we're doing here?
Okay, first we're going to get the big mixing bowl and then your favorite spatula. And let me get one of those. Okay, we're first going to take about a cup and a half to 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and that'll go right in the bowl. I'm going to reserve some based on how thick the dough is going to become. We're going to knead this up. We also have ricotta cheese, about 1.5 to 2 cups. Again, I'm going to put all that in there today. And then if you're in the rural community and if you know anyone that raises chickens, actually, can I have that bowl back? We're going to put our eggshells in there. Farm fresh eggs are really good. You're going to break it in the bowl, make sure you don't see any shells, and you can pour it right in. All right. Two eggs can go in the bowl. And then, let's see, salt and pepper to taste. Okay. Try to grind it into your hand so you have a little bit of control of how much is going to go in the dish itself. Okay, and sprinkle it right on the top. Same thing with the salt. Oh, that's a lot of salt. We're going to put it in there anyways, don't worry. All right, a little bit of olive oil, only because olive oil is good for you. All right.
So gnocchi is one of my favorite dishes. Being Italian, I get this, get it at home all the time, but it's usually frozen. So you're going to show us how easy this is to make at home.
Oh, this is easy. You could do this ahead of time and then par cook them and then freeze them and then make your sauce and put in a nice hot sauce. And then it heats up and cooks in about 7 minutes. It's pretty straightforward.
And we're making a basic ricotta with, it's just going to be a plain ricotta. But can you add anything to this dish?
If I pureed
to the mixture here?
Sure. You can put pesto in here to make the gnocchis green. Mm-hmm. You could do sun-dried tomato pesto to make them red. You could do roasted red peppers on your grill at home. Mm-hmm. Take off all the black char, rinse it off in the sink, chop it up, puree it up, and then you can incorporate it right into the dough to make a different color.
Excellent. So there's a lot of different versions of the gnocchi you can make.
Yeah, and you're sneaking in vegetables where the kids may not, think, oh, hey, that's a vegetable, I'm not going to eat that.
Right.
So little sneaks. All right, so we're going to chop up some fresh parsley to give it some color. And as we're chopping, we're going to get our water started. Okay. So, and then our last ingredient, we're going to probably put some garlic, a little bit of garlic, but you don't have to because that's going to be in the sauce.
Yes.
But we're going to hold off and we'll save that for the sauce.
All right.
We'll save that for the sauce. Okay. Trying to rock my knife here, not making a lot of noise, just scraping it along the board in a rocking motion. Okay.
Working in kitchens, you find that rocking the knife is a lot, keeps the noise down in the kitchen, because if you have people chopping and cutting all day with the hard knife, the two things, makes a lot of noise. It also dulls the knife quite a bit.
Yeah, 12 knives chopping is very loud. We're going to put this aside. We can probably throw this in the sauce a little bit
Sure.
for later, but we have some basil and some other ingredients we'll get going on the sauce. So to finish the dough, you just mix it to incorporate.
I have a feeling you're going to eventually get your hands in there, Chef.
Oh yes, we are. Gonna wash my hands first though. So, and then we just need a fork. You could make gnocchis off the back of a spoon. You could make it off the back of a fork. And there's different shapes. You can roll this out. And it's pretty easy to make ahead. On the weekends, rainy day, keep the kids busy. And you have a nice meal that they can help make. All right, we're gonna put a little bit more, probably one more egg. Yeah, crack that in there. All right, the egg acts as a binder. This will be a dough that you want rollable. And it's gonna almost come together like a cookie dough. See that? See how that came together? So you keep scraping your sides of the bowl. Excuse me. All right, until everything pulls off the side and it looks like the consistency of cookie batter.
It's coming together really nice.
Yep, I reserved some of the flour so we can stretch some out.
Yeah, while you're mixing this, tell me a little bit about the process for taking the CEC chef. It's not just something, anybody can go and take, right?
Oh no, you actually have to reach the certified executive level for the CEC. You have to be an executive chef for a minimum of 5 years and supervising a staff of 10 to 12 people for each year you've done it.
Which I know you do, especially at Fidelity.
And then you also have to take a written test. Then there's a practical test. I just finished the practical test at the Le Cordon Bleu up in Cambridge last week, and unfortunately I didn't pass. But you walk away learning an awful lot, only because there's a lot of detail, and it's very French-based style cooking. They like the plates very simple, and you're required to do 5 different cuts, 2 different sauces.
Which the cuts we're gonna go over a little bit later in the show.
Correct. We'll go through different cuts that you can use, but some of the requirements, if you don't make them, then you lose points on that. There's also a time factor. You have 3 hours and 15 minutes.
There's a
And
3-course meal, I think you mentioned.
a 3-course meal. There's a fish course, a salad course, and the main entree course, which has chicken and 2 vegetables and a side of some type of potato, but you have a basket that you're required to use.
And how many chefs judge you?
Oh boy, we had trainers there that were part of the ACE training for the American Culinary Federation. We had 12 people that were training. They couldn't partake in there. They were just there for observations because it's part of their training. But we had 6 executive chefs that were part of the CEC committee for the practical tests.
And you mentioned that you failed this test, so it is something that you can continue to take. Just because you failed it one time doesn't mean you cannot become a certified executive chef.
No, I failed it only because I didn't meet the criteria. But again, you walk away learning something. The first time I did it, I wasn't ready for it, and I realized that after I took the test. The second time, my timing was on. My organization was there. It's just the execution of getting everything done from scratch.
All right.
And that's breaking down chicken, breaking down lobster,
Sure.
breaking down salmon, doing all the required cuts, making the sauces, and it's timing. It's like an orchestra.
Sure.
It was pretty neat.
All right, where are we at here? I know we're waiting for the water to boil, but we're ready
Yep.
to make our dumplings.
Ready to make the dumplings. We're going to take out a little bit at a time and work in batches. Okay, so you put some dough on the board. Okay, and yes, this is the messy fun part that kids are just going to love. But you roll this out. And we'll put this to the side. So are you going to make a cylinder or a roll, and that's going to end up being the shape of the gnocchi. Okay. And then using a knife, you cut them in small sections and set them aside. And the consistency that you're looking at now, you want it to be able to pick it up so it stays together. Okay. And the thickness is probably about as thick as your thumb. Okay.
That's a good tip.
Do you have? Here, let me see your thumb. All right. He gets bigger thumbs. All right. So we got
dumplings.
He gets bigger dumplings. That's right. That's right. Okay. So you get the sections. All right. There we go. All right. Now this is ready to cook. Are we ready to cook?
The water seems to be boiling. I think we're ready to go.
All right. Now taking a section and just in your hand, you can put this in the flour and you pretty much roll it right off your fingers and right into the water. Okay, and that is a gnocchi. There's different cuts, there's different styles. You can do it like that.
A little texture.
Yeah, there's all textures. You can cut them in pieces. Wow. And then roll it off and put it in, because then it's going to catch that sauce. As you make the indentations, it's going to catch the sauce.
The sauce better, very good.
And it holds the sauce better on the pasta. Now, if it starts sticking like it did on my fingers, just a little bit of flour, and you roll it in.
Very nice.
Okay, and it takes about 5 to 7 minutes. Now, this is considered fresh pasta, so it'll cook a little faster. And then if you look at the pan, we're going to
Let's get all these dumplings in. We have a big crew to feed here today.
Oh my gosh, are they hungry?
They're always hungry
All
at
right,
the end
so
of our show.
when the gnocchi are done, they float, they're done. So you can start taking them out. All right, you want to help cut? And I'll start rolling them in there. All right.
So the next step we're going to start is the sauce after we get all these dumplings in the water, correct?
Yes. Yeah, pan sauce is like 3 to 4 ingredients. You can use vine-ripe tomatoes, which we have today. I know a lot of people that like to plant heirloom variety tomatoes, or if there's a local CSA, community-supported agriculture.
Which we have right here in Foxborough.
No way. So
Yes, we
jealous.
do.
You could actually go there and get some great tomatoes, and they have some nice, no offense ethnically, but there's some tomatoes called ugly German tomatoes, but they make sauce. They make a great sauce only because they're so meaty. Then you have heirloom variety hybrids that they make, and the other cherry tomatoes, golden tomatoes, beautiful colors. All right, now see, if you look at the pan now, just give that a quick stir. All right, and see how some of them are floating? And if you look at this one, it looks like it's done. That's already part cooked. So what you would do is give that a little pinch and see how hard it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost al dente, but if you really want to cheat, just cut it in half and see what the middle looks like. All right, and that's just about there. That's ready to go. So we're gonna wait for those to cook. We'll cool them down, then we'll get our sauce going.
All right. Well, we're gonna let those finish, and
Okay.
we're gonna clear off this cutting board, clean it up a little bit, so you can get going with your sauce.
You got it. All right, I'm gonna remove the flour.
And I'll take care of the dumplings from here on out once they start floating, and let's move on to our sauce process.
Awesome.
And again, as you can see, very basic ingredients. You should all have these at home, right? The eggs and flour, oil, tomatoes, garlic, all basic ingredients. You really need very little to make a delicious meal. Fresh, fresh at home, restaurant quality stuff here. This is great.
Woo-hoo.
And we have some beautiful vine-ripe tomatoes here for us.
Okay. Yeah, the meatier the tomato, the better the sauce. But then you can add anything to the sauce that you like. If you like balsamic vinaigrette, if you like sun-dried tomatoes, if you like pesto sauce, tomato sauce is one of the basic sauces that can be made and incorporated into a multitude. Marinara, puttanesca,
Bolognese.
bolognese. So There's lots of different versions for the meat eaters. We have a lot of different versions for people that are vegetarian. Also, people that are avoiding gluten. If this wasn't for the flour, you could still use the sauce for something else.
And there's actually other flours you could substitute instead of the gluten.
Oh,
instead
sure
of
there
the
is. Sure there is. Your local stores have some wonderful ingredients.
So we're getting our pan nice and hot here. If you notice, our dumplings are just about all floating. We're going to let them go about another minute just to ensure that they're all done for us.
Awesome.
And then I'm going to go around you while you're continuing with the sauce here, and I'll take
Okay.
care of the cooling down process for those dumplings.
Awesome. Mike, what I'm doing now is we're going to start the sauce. I just sliced up a couple of cloves of garlic. That's 2 garlic. If you like garlic, you can roast it. You could saute it. I like the roasting version only because when it's roasted, it spreads like butter and it's just as sweet. You could spread it on toast, olive oil, some Parmesan cheese, and make some excellent garlic bread.
Delicious.
Okay, so this is raw garlic, so you have to be careful that you don't burn it, because if you burn the garlic, it's going to stay, you'll taste that throughout the course of the sauce.
Right.
So just be careful.
All right, so I'm going to step behind you, cool down these gnocchis while you continue with the process of the sauce.
Okay. All right, we're going to take some extra virgin olive oil, and we're going to put that in our pan. Make sure heat up your pan first. All right, and we're looking about 2-3 tablespoons tops. So you can just pour that right in. Okay, when it looks like a small pancake, that's about the right size. Okay, then we're going to put our garlic in. Okay, and listen to that sizzle, huh? Can you hear that? All right. If you see movement in the pan, that's your sizzle. All right, well, that's sauteing lightly. We're going to get our tomatoes going, and then we'll add those in as we go. A simple chop in half, so where it's a flat piece, and it's going to be a small bite size. So it looks like a small dice, almost the size of a button, okay? That can go right in just like that.
So we're used to dealing with fire. We're using, as our cooking element, we're using electricity, so it's a little more challenging to control the heat. So I'm going to be up and downing the temperature here so that we don't get that burn on the garlic, as you mentioned before.
No, because if you burn the garlic, it will just ruin the sauce. You don't want that. So all that work, you don't want to waste it. So this is going to go in.
So Chef Tom and I have been working together for about 5 years now. We first worked at the Reebok World headquarters. Chef was my executive chef. I was the food service director here. And now we're working back together with Flick International in the Fidelity accounts. So anybody, I think Foxborough has a pretty good contingency of Fidelity employees. So if you're ever at the 900 building, Chef Tom's making the magic there.
Come on over. We'll make sure you have a nice lunch. Awesome. All right, so we're adding our tomatoes. Now, if you need any water, you could use water to make this a little saucy. You could also add tomato juice. All right. But a very simple sauce. Okay, and that parsley that was reserved, so you could use that. But we have a nice chiffonade basil we're going to throw into. One more tomato, and then we'll start on the basil. Now, chiffonade basil, that's just, to me and to Mike, that's a distinct style of cutting the basil leaves in a ribbon method. And a chiffonade is the description of that, okay?
Chiffonade means ribbon, I believe, in French, doesn't it?
In French? Yes, it does. I don't speak fluent French. For those people out there that do, though. Now, what Mike did was he rolled the basil leaves together, okay?
Pile them on top of each other?
Yeah, and then you just roll them, and then it's easier to give a uniform cut, okay? And we use a rocking motion. And then when they're cut, they're all nice in ribbons, okay? That goes right in the sauce. Okay.
Grab a wooden spoon here.
Okay. I'm going to add a little bit more olive oil to that. Give it a little bit more body. And maybe
We need smell-o-vision because this smells delicious.
Does it smells good? All right. All right, then that means we're doing good.
That's the next step in television technology.
Oh my gosh. All right, we're going to put a little bit of salt. That was a lot of salt, but that's okay. Salt is flavor, but also salt, you have to be careful for the people that have to watch their sodium intake. I could make this sauce with no salt at all.
Now this is, we've been going only about 15 minutes now, and we already just about have a tremendous meal ready for us and our staff here, helping us out.
Woohoo! Thank you, staff. This is great.
So you can see, again, at home, very easy to make, not a lot of time, and delicious. I mean, delicious meal. I'm really looking forward to this.
So, what if you were serving a pasta dish, Mike? What could we serve with this that you think your guests would like today?
Well, we're going to make a salad right after this as a starting course. A nice seasonal winter salad. It's going to be arugula based with candied walnuts, roasted pears, dried cranberries with a lemon vinaigrette. It's going to be delicious.
Welcome to New England. You have to have your cranberries every time you're here. All right?
Yes.
It's wonderful. All right, so our tomato sauce is just finishing. You could slow cook this, as we have, and keep stirring. Now that garlic is safe. It hasn't burned.
Nope, it's delicious.
And as Mike says, it smells wonderful. Mike, you want to get a spoon and try that out?
I certainly will.
Give it a taste. Give it a taste. And if he hates it...
If I must.
All right, if you have to. If he hates it, I'm in trouble. How'd it come out?
Well, it's horrible. I don't think anybody in the studio should try it.
No, we should just take it home. Okay, excellent.
Delicious.
Good.
Delicious.
All
Nothing like a fresh tomato sauce. If you have again, as you can see, it doesn't take a lot of time. Better than opening up a can and, and pouring it out, or a jar. Definitely more cost efficient, buying a few tomatoes, and you have enough sauce there for a family of 4 easily.
Yeah, and that was
just 3 tomatoes.
That was just 3 tomatoes. Now, if you like to garden, you don't need a garden. You could grow tomatoes in a pot.
Right.
On your porch, on your deck. This is easy to do, and you're helping your local bees, I think.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Bumblebees love tomato plants.
And Tom, you have an interesting story about bees.
Well, yeah, for you beekeepers out there, I'm also a beekeeper too. This is my first year keeping bees, and I have just finished winterizing my hives. And that means that you have to let them hunker down for the winter, keep them warm, but also make sure they have enough honey in their supers or their hive to survive for the winter. Bees don't sleep, Mike. A lot of people think, oh, well, the bees just sleep or hibernate.
I know how they feel.
But they actually just stay in the hive, and they feed and keep the queen and the hive warm. And they're inactive. You might see them very frequently on a really warm winter day. If it gets about 50 degrees, they might come out, but they've collected enough pollen and nectar to make honey that will hopefully get them through the winter. That's the beekeeper's biggest fear, is that they get through the winter. And then as soon as the dandelions show up, that means the nectar is flowing. And
so I fight all spring to keep the dandelions off my grass, but they're actually good for the bees?
They're actually excellent for the bees. Dandelions is a natural weed. Yes, everybody hates them, but they have a really good nectar that the bees actually are really good for the bees. So.
Well, it looks like I added some grated cheese while we were talking, just to a little more flavor to the sauce.
That in. Excellent.
We're at a great stopping point right now where we have our gnocchi ready to go, our sauce ready to go. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back. We're going to make our salad, which is going to be our first course. And at the end of the salad, we're going to put the whole meal together. We'll be right back.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, we're back. So we just finished our gnocchi, which is the main entree dish, and we're going to go with our first course, which is a salad. Again, very simple, very easy to make. All within 10 minutes we'll have a beautiful salad made, and this is nice and seasonal. So what we're making today is an arugula-based salad with candied walnuts, dried cranberries, and we're going to grill off some pears. And then we're going to put some nice vegetables, and Chef Tom is going to use his knife skills to show us different cuts with some of our vegetables, our pepper, our onion, and our zucchini here. And it's very simple, and we're going to make a nice fresh lemon dressing. Okay? So first what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the pear. I'm just going to halve these pears And these pears right here are actually from a friend of mine's tree. And this is the perfect time of year for pears, right?
Oh my gosh, they're dropping so fast, just like
And
the acorns.
I want to remind everybody, this is Chef Tom Provost here with us, joining us today.
Hi folks, how you doing?
So I'm just going to rub a little oil on the cut side of these pears here.
Oh, are you doing that, Mike?
Oh, get beautiful marks on this grill. And again, we're using electric equipment here, but the induction burner comes with a nice grill top here that's going to give us some nice lines on our pears when we're done.
Nice.
And in this pan here, I'm going to put a little, actually I'm going to use a little bit of, well, I was going to use butter, but it's not here. We're going to use a little bit of olive oil. And this is where we're going to candy our walnuts. So Chef, I'm going to let you candy the walnuts for us.
Ooh, okay.
All right.
All right.
So while everything's getting hot, I'm going to start up with the salad dressing. Come on back on. There we go. All right, salad dressing. Very simple salad dressing. We're going to take 1/3 cup of olive oil. A 1/3 cup of lemon juice. Equal amounts.
Can I fresh squeeze the lemon juice if I want to, Mike?
Absolutely. You might need a few
Awesome.
lemons for it, but you can always use fresh lemon juice.
Awesome.
I'm going to do about a pinch of sugar. Why am I adding the pinch of sugar, Chef?
Just to sweeten up it, because you're using an acid and you want to counterbalance it when it makes the dressing.
Very nice.
You could use honey, which we like, or agave, or brown sugar, or molasses. It all depends what the finished product is you'd like to go after.
I am a fan of honey, as we were
No
speaking
way.
about our bees earlier.
All right, save the
So
bees.
I'm going to put these right on there. You can hear a nice sizzle as we get those right on. A little press so we can get the nice lines.
Okay. So
Now, in addition to the salad dressing here, I'm going to cut up a little clove of garlic. Again, a nice fine, as we'll find out shortly. This is a small brunoise, which is a little teeny squares by the time they're done.
All right, Mike. This caramelizing of the pecans has happened a lot faster, but those are going to be nice and hot. So nobody stick your fingers in the pan, okay? All right. See the smoke and the nice caramelization. See how the sugar's wet on the side of the pan? All right. That's when you want to pull it, because that sugar is going to keep cooking, and it's going to be nice and hot. But then you have the sugar that's clung to the nuts, and it's going to sweeten up and harden up, and it's a nice crunch when you get it in the salad. So Mike, I want to put those to the side for now?
Yes, please.
Alrighty.
So what I'm doing here is I'm going to add some fresh herbs. I have some nice fresh oregano here that I'm taking off the stems.
Yeah, let me help you.
And then we're going to do the same with the basil.
Okay.
Do some nice chiffonade again
All
of
right.
the basil.
All right, I'll get the basil ready for you.
All right, this is just going to rough cut the oregano here. As you can see, they're very small leaves.
Okay.
Quiet the beeping. Add them to the dressing.
Okay, how much basil would you like?
I think two or three leaves will be just fine.
Okay, I'm going to roll that up for you. There you go. Nice and rolled up, ready for cutting.
Ready for chiffonade.
You got it?
Beautiful.
Okay, and how are those pears looking?
I think they're good. Why don't you take them off and we can... Oh,
A little longer, a little longer. Okay.
All right.
Now, I can put anything in the dressing. If, say, I don't like oregano, is there any other herb that you would suggest?
Thyme, sage, any combination of herbs, any fresh herb makes the dressing delicious.
Okay, maybe some dill or some scallions.
Sure. All depends on, you can use it to what you're using on your salad as well.
Exactly. I like tarragon. Tarragon's good.
Tarragon's delicious.
Awesome.
So once again, I'm going to add a little bit of pepper here.
Okay, salt comes out fast, so be careful.
Yes. Add a little pepper to taste. I'm going to keep the salt aside just because we have the lemon in there. It's
No,
already
that's good. That's
sweet
good.
enough.
Yeah.
So boom, nice quick salad dressing, fresh and ready to go for when our salad is ready.
Okay, we'll give it a little crisscross on our pears today.
Very nice.
All right.
All right, so we use a nice fresh arugula here, and we're going to start to build. We're going to make 2 salads. One for you and I, Tom. One for you and I.
Awesome.
We're going to have to share with the staff. I know we are.
All right. We like to share though, Mike.
All right. So we're just going to build our salad here. Chef, you know what I'm going to have you do?
What
I'm going
would
to have
you
you
like
show
me
us
to
a
do?
few of our cuts here. Why don't you
Okay.
give me a nice cut on the bias here,
Cut on the bias. Would
a
you like
nice julienne there,
All right.
and a medium brunoise there.
Alrighty. Bias is a descriptional cut. Instead of cutting it at a 90 degree, you're cutting it at a 45 degree. And I've cut the summer squash in half, so it actually will give us a half moon and not too big of a piece while we're eating.
Very nice. So I'm going to just put these salads aside here. And we have
How's that, Mike?
our nice pears.
Is that
Getting
enough?
the beautiful marks I need, but
Awesome. Beautiful.
close enough.
Is that enough on the squash?
That's beautiful.
All right.
Squash.
Then you said julienne on the peppers?
Nice thin julienne on the
You
peppers.
got it.
And a julienne is?
Julienne is matchstick size. It's usually a 1/4 of an inch by 1/4 of an inch or even smaller. It is roughly 2 to 3 inches long, probably 2 inches, because that's pretty much the size of a wooden match. It's easy to pick up with a fork, easy to eat, and you can actually incorporate a lot of flavor. So,
Chef, I'm going to let you use this knife because I know that's one of your favorites.
My
Why don't you talk a little
favorite
bit about
knife.
that knife and the age of that knife?
all right.
there?
Well, let's talk about the 2 knives we have. We have 2 knives in front of us. This old-looking knife is actually the sharpest knife on the table. It's a carbonized knife made out of a different steel versus the new stainless steel that we have on this knife.
How old is that knife?
This knife, I want to say, is probably just about a little over 100 years old. It has brass rivets, wooden handles, and see how it looks like it's old.
Right.
But feel that knife. That's really sharp. Careful.
And it's still good to use even though it looks like that. It's not shiny like this one.
Correct. You just have to take care of it, and only because it's old doesn't mean it's not bad. It's
Right.
just it's a very useful tool, and it's one of my favorite knives in my collection.
Thank you for saying you're old and it's not bad. We appreciate that.
Thank you, sir. All right, so we're
Okay.
gonna julienne.
Julienne the peppers. So I'm going to start to build our salad here as Chef is going through his cuts. I'm going to take our pear, take out the core, take out the stem, keep it nice and whole, and I'm going to start building these salads here. And again, once again, these are very simple, very easy to make salads. Not much time, not much effort.
But just a lot of good food, right?
It's a lot of good, healthy, fresh products, as you can see.
So
We haven't used anything from a jar today.
too much sodium in that.
Yep.
All right, there's the peppers. We have a nice matchstick julienne,
Excellent.
and easy to pick up. It's about 2 inches long, nice and thin. Okay, so we're looking for that. Now,
Very
how would you
nice.
like the onion today?
I'd like a medium brunoise, please.
A
And what does that
medium?
mean?
Medium brunoise is a medium dice. Brunoise is just another culinary term in our world for the style of dice. Uniform cut. I'm taking off the peel. You could save these and throw them in a nice stock if you'd like,
And compost.
and or compost for your local CSAs. That's right. Now, is there a CSAs in Foxborough?
There is.
So they're locally. That's nice.
Yep. I know my parents who live here in Foxborough. They use it every summer and fall.
Yeah, it's a great way to get some fresh vegetables that are local, possibly of the heirloom variety. And what about like about half an onion?
Yeah.
We don't want to overpower them.
Right.
All right.
All right. So again, we're still building here. So right now, I'm going to show one on the table here. So right now we just have the pears. We're going to take some of our dried cranberries, sprinkle them generously on top. Again, another delicious addition to our salads. I'm going to take some of our candied nuts, sprinkle them on top.
Yeah. I did a light caramelization on that, Michael.
Very nice.
But you can add some spice to that if you wish. You can do southwestern spice and with candied methods. You can do wasabi spice on those. Just toss them in the saute pan prior to, and then you get that nice flavor. Onions are ready.
I'm going to take some of them, just sprinkle them a little bit around.
Okay, nice looking salad.
Again, we've been doing this for just a few minutes here. And Presentation took no time. The cuts make it look so much a little nicer than just cutting things up into squares and throwing them in there.
You would take a spoon?
I would love a spoon.
Awesome. There you go.
There's a few other things we're going to do here to finish this off. So we're going to do a little bit of dressing around. Again, one thing a lot of people do with their salads is they oversaturate their salads with the dressing.
Oh, I hate that. All the lettuce looks like a wet rag.
Going to take a fresh lemon.
Oh, you're spoiling them, Mike. This is
Yes, I
great.
am. Take some of the rind here, right on top of the. I'm not getting anything.
That's okay. All right, let me see what I got in my toolbox.
All right,
I'll help
see-
you out. Yeah.
And I like to do
Alright.
this with the cheese as well. Take a regular vegetable peeler, nice block of Parmesan Reggiano cheese, and make some nice ribbon strips.
No way. What's a ribbon strip?
Well, you know, just a nice thin strip of the Parmesan cheese.
Okay.
And
And
we're
I
gonna
just
put
put this
those-
right in the salad, right?
Right on top.
Oh, wow. For the people that like their cheese, this is the perfect way to have it.
There you go.
Okay.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
I got another zester for you.
Oh,
All right.
thank you.
You're welcome.
There we go. And this will just, again, just a little color on top of the plate.
It smells great. You have to smell this, folks. It smells great. Awesome. Nice looking salad.
Little things. All right, now we're going to go back to our
Our
pasta dish.
wonderful
And we're going to plate
gnocchis.
these up.
Okay.
All right, let's get the gnocchi. Let's get this back on the grill here.
Okay, I'll start that up.
Remove this grill here.
Okay.
I have our other pan down here.
All right, we're just going to move things around.
Sorry
Make some
for the
space.
noise.
Okay. So, to heat those up, Mike, how do I do it? Do I just little olive
A
oil?
little olive oil.
Okay, little water perhaps,
Yep.
just to get them nice and hot.
Nice and hot and moist.
Okay.
Let those go for just a second. We're going to put our salads aside here. Let's clear off our table here a bit so we can show our presentation at the end.
You got it. All right, would you like to need any fresh parsley for the top?
Love fresh parsley for the
All right,
top.
once we clean off, I'll start chopping some of that too. Maybe some basil if there's any left. Awesome.
Put this stuff back on our cutting board here. So as you can see, we just took about 35 minutes of your time today. Made fresh ricotta with herb dumplings, gnocchis, as they say in Italian. A beautiful fresh tomato sauce.
Bless you, Mike.
A tremendous and easy to make winter salad. Okay, with the nice caramelized, nuts, the dried cranberries, and the grilled pears.
Okay.
I'm gonna take these,
Okay.
make up 2 plates right here.
All right. Okay, so we'll have some basil. We'll have a little parsley. And then that cheese didn't go away, did it?
Cheese did not go
Oh my
away.
gosh. All right, pecorino romano or Parmesan cheese on top of gnocchi dish is just a nice finishing touch. You know, maybe next time we'll do a bread segment and then we can make some nice garlic bread, Mike. How's that?
Nice.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. All right, this is our lunch, I take it, right?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. I thought you were taking me out to eat. I
Here
guess
it
this.
is.
Oh, here it is. All right.
Foxwell
This is
cable.
good. Woohoo! All right. Okay. Can I garnish it up?
Garnish it up.
Okay. Do you
We're
like
just gonna do
basil?
one at a time here over here.
All right.
Love some basil, love some parsley.
Ooh, pretty. All right. There you go. All right. Go ahead. Hit it with the cheese. I like lots of cheese. Ah, beautiful. All right. I love that chunk. All right. I'll try that.
All right,
Good.
folks, here's our meal for the day. A tremendous homemade meal. First course, second course. Hope you enjoyed the show today. Chef Tom, really appreciate your help and
Mike.
information.
Glad it was here. Thank you very much for having me, Mike.
Okay, we'll see you next time on Let's Cook. Have a great day.